First contact protocols. The Meroth had conquered 8 solar systems before they detected Earth's signals. Their evolutionary path had been nothing if not efficient. Starting as ambush predators in the methane-rich swamps of their homeworld, they developed intelligence not to build civilizations, but to become deadlier hunters. Their entire society was structured around the purity of the hunt and the natural dominance of predator over prey. Supreme Huntmaster Vorax lounged in his command chamber, skeletal fingers absently stroking the skull of an extinct species that had once ruled a neighboring system. His crystalline eyes, capable of seeing across 12 spectrums, narrowed as he studied the holographic display of Earth. "So primitive," he hissed, triple-hinged jaw clicking with amusement. "They still use combustion for transportation." First Strategist Kylar dipped her armored head in deference. "Yes, Supreme Huntmaster, but our deep space sensors have detected anomalies. Their technological development curve is unusual." "Explain." A single word, leaden with quiet threat. "Most species progress gradually. These humans have made several evolutionary leaps within mere centuries, from basic flight to orbital capabilities in less than 100 solar cycles. It's unprecedented." Vorax waved a dismissive claw. "A statistical outlier. Nothing more. There is something else." Kylar hesitated, mandibles twitching nervously. "They evolved from prey species." The chamber fell silent. The 6 other Meroth counselors stirred, their dermal plates shifting in expressions of disbelief or disgust. "Prey." Vorax's voice was dangerously soft. "You're suggesting a prey species has achieved spaceflight." "Not just prey, Supreme Huntmaster. According to our xenobiologists, they were persistence hunters who later became agricultural. A hybrid evolutionary path." Vorax rose from his throne, towering 3 meters tall. His chitinous exoskeleton gleamed under the chamber's bioluminescent lighting. "Fascinating," he finally said. "A true anomaly in the cosmic order. Send a hunting party, our finest. I want to understand these creatures before we decide their fate." What the Supreme Huntmaster didn't articulate was the faint sensation he felt, unfamiliar after countless conquests. Was it curiosity? Or perhaps, though he would never admit it, the first flicker of concern? The Meroth hunting vessel Inevitable Consumption dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of Earth's solar system. The elite 5-member hunting squad emerged from hibernation pods, their specialized organs gradually resuming normal function. Hunt leader Ravex stretched his limbs, each of his 4 arms extending to their full length as he acclimated to consciousness. "Status report," he demanded. Tech specialist Silex interfaced directly with the ship's systems through neural connectors embedded in her skull. "All systems optimal. We've arrived at target coordinates. Preliminary scans show atmospheric composition as expected. Nitrogen-oxygen mix. High water content." "Weapons check," Ravex ordered, already inspecting his own arsenal. Molecular disruptors, neurotoxin injectors, and phase-shift armor that would render him virtually invisible to primitive detection systems. Telox, the team's tracker, ran a sensory probe over his specialized hunting equipment. "The humans will never know we're here until we choose to reveal ourselves." "Remember," Ravex cautioned, "this is primarily an intelligence-gathering mission. We observe their capabilities, assess their threat level, and determine their potential usefulness. The Supreme Huntmaster wants specimens, alive if possible." The youngest member of the squad, Nex, clicked his mandibles excitedly. "I've studied their primitive communications networks. They're constantly fighting among themselves. Classic prey behavior, always frightened, always scurrying about." Mevex, the team's biologist, displayed a holographic image of a human, physically unimpressive. No natural armor, dull teeth, weak muscles compared to our own. Their only advantage appears to be their large brain-to-body ratio and their endurance. "Endurance?" Ravex inquired. "Yes, they can sustain physical activity for extraordinary periods. Their thermal regulation system is unusually efficient. Ravex dismissed this with a flick of his primary claws. Irrelevant. Prepare the stealth lander. We'll establish our observation post in an isolated region they called Northern Territory. According to our data, it's sparsely populated but will provide adequate subjects for study. The hunting party prepared their equipment with practiced efficiency, each member performing tasks they had completed dozens of times on previous conquest missions. None of them felt any apprehension. Why would they? They were Marath, apex predators of the known galaxy. These humans, with their soft flesh and primitive technology, were just another species to be studied, catalogued, and eventually subjugated. If only they knew. The stealth lander touched down in the remote wilderness of the Canadian Yukon, far from major population centers. Advanced camouflage technology immediately rendered the vessel indistinguishable from the surrounding forest. The Marath emerged, their own adaptive skin changing color and texture to blend perfectly with the environment. Atmospheric analysis complete, Silex reported. Oxygen levels higher than our homeworld. It will enhance our physical capabilities but may affect judgment over prolonged exposure. Recommend neural stabilizers. Ravex acknowledged with a curt nod as he surveyed their surroundings. The dense forest, towering mountains, and pristine lakes would have been beautiful to a species that valued such things. To the Marath, it was merely terrain to be assessed for tactical advantages. Life signs detected, Telox announced. Small settlement approximately 12 kilometers northeast. Population, 27. Perfect, Ravex decided. We'll observe from a distance first, establish perimeter sensors, and prepare the neural mapping equipment. For 3 Earth days, the hunting party studied the small community, a research outpost staffed by geologists, climatologists, and support personnel. The humans followed predictable patterns, working during daylight hours and retreating to their structures at night. Nothing about their behavior suggested they were anything but ordinary prey species. On the 4th day, Nex approached Ravex with unexpected concern. Hunt leader, I've been analyzing their communications. They're discussing unusual readings on their equipment. They may have detected our presence. Impossible, Ravex dismissed. Our technology is beyond their comprehension. Nevertheless, Telox interjected. They've sent a message to their regional authorities about anomalous electromagnetic signatures. They're sending additional personnel to investigate. Ravex considered this development. Interesting. They're more sensitive to environmental changes than we anticipated. This presents an opportunity. We'll collect our first specimen tonight. When darkness fell, Ravex and Nex approached the outpost, their phase shift armor bending light around them. They selected their target, an isolated human who had stepped outside to perform equipment maintenance. Remember, Ravex instructed, minimal force. We needed conscious for study. They moved with predatory grace, closing the distance in seconds. Nex readied a neural suppressant designed to incapacitate without killing. The human, a middle-aged male the others called Dr. Chen, suddenly stiffened. Despite the Marath's perfect camouflage, despite their silent approach, the human turned directly toward them. "Who's there?" he called out, reaching for a communication device. Ravex and Nex froze. It should have been impossible for the primitive creature to detect them. The human's hand moved to his waist, drawing a small metal object. "Neural suppressant now," Ravex ordered. Nex fired, but in that same instant, the human discharged his own weapon. The neural suppressant struck the human, who collapsed immediately, but not before his primitive projectile weapon had somehow penetrated Nex's phase shift armor, tearing through his left secondary arm. Nex staggered back, fluorescent blood seeping from the wound. "Impossible," he hissed. "How did it see us? How did its weapon penetrate my armor?" Ravex had no answer as he secured the unconscious human. For the first time in his distinguished career as a hunter, he felt the first stirring of something unfamiliar, doubt. What they didn't realize was that Dr. Chen wasn't just any scientist. He was a former Special Forces operator who had never lost the habits of his military training. The anomalous readings weren't from any human equipment. They were from his extensively modified neural implants, classified technology that even most humans didn't know existed. And the alarm had already been triggered. The hunt reversed. Back at their concealed vessel, Mevex examined the captured human with growing fascination. "Remarkable," she murmured, studying the readings from her bioscanner. "Their neural structure is unlike anything in our database. What about their defensive capabilities?" Ravex demanded, still disturbed by Nex's injury. "How did a primitive projectile weapon penetrate our phase technology?" Silex analyzed the recovered projectile. "It's not the weapon itself, it's what it's made of. A depleted radioactive element they call uranium. The specific isotopic composition creates a subtle disruption in our phase shift field." "A coincidence," Ravex insisted. "They couldn't possibly know about our technology." The captured human began to regain consciousness, straining against the molecular restraints. Mevex administered a mild sedative to keep him compliant, while attaching neural translators to his temples. "Can you understand me, human?" Mevex asked once the translators calibrated. The human's eyes widened, but his expression remained remarkably composed for a prey species confronting predators from beyond their world. "I understand you," he replied. "Who? What are you?" "We are Merith," Ravex stated, looming over the restrained human. "The dominant species of this galaxy. You will answer our questions." What happened next shattered every preconception the Merith had about humans. Instead of cowering in fear, the human laughed, a sound that sent an ancestral shiver down their spinal ridges. "You're not the first," the human said cryptically. They didn't survive either. Before any of the Merith could respond, the perimeter alarm blared. Telox rushed to the sensor array. Multiple approaches, 23 human life signs surrounding our position. They deployed some kind of energy dampening field. "Our systems are degrading." "Impossible," Silex hissed. "Their technology shouldn't be capable." The first explosion rocked the vessel, breaching the outer hull. Emergency seals activated immediately, but the damage was done. Their perfect camouflage flickered and failed. "How?" Ravex demanded, mandibles clicking in agitation. "How did they find us so quickly? How are they breaching our defenses?" The captive human smiled. "We've been watching the skies for centuries. Did you really think yours was the first ship to visit Earth?" Another explosion, closer this time. The vessel's structural integrity warnings flashed across every display. "Prepare for combat," Ravex ordered. "Lethal force authorized." The hunting party armed themselves, their bodies flooding with combat stimulants. They were Merith, apex predators, conquerors of 8 systems. They would not be defeated by primitive prey. But as they emerged from their damaged vessel, they encountered not disorganized primitives, but a coordinated force equipped with weapons that seemed specifically designed to counter Merith technology. The humans had deployed in tactical formation, using the forest for cover. They communicated through subvocal implants that the Merith couldn't intercept. Most shocking of all, they showed no fear, only grim determination. Nex fell first, 3 specialized projectiles penetrating his exoskeleton at precisely the most vulnerable points. Mevex and Silex were separated from the group by coordinated explosive charges that hurted them exactly where the humans wanted them. Telox managed to kill 4 humans with his molecular disruptor before being overwhelmed by concentrated fire from multiple directions. As he fell, his dying neural transmission conveyed his disbelief. "They're hunting us." Ravex, his primary heart pounding with unfamiliar fear, enacted emergency protocols. Fighting his way through the human perimeter, he sustained multiple injuries, but managed to reach the emergency escape pod. The vessel's self-destruct sequence initiated behind him, ensuring the humans would recover minimal technology. As the escape pod broke atmosphere, accelerating toward the safety of deep space, Ravex reviewed the battle recordings with growing horror. The humans hadn't just gotten lucky, They had somehow anticipated Marath tactics, exploited weaknesses the Marath didn't even know they had. When the wounded hunt leader finally reached Marath space weeks later, he delivered his report directly to Supreme Hunt Master Vorex. "They knew us," Ravex concluded, his once proud posture now humbled. "Somehow, they knew exactly how to fight us. The human I captured," he implied they've encountered other spacefaring species before. Vorex's crystalline eyes narrowed. "Impossible. We've cataloged every advanced civilization in this sector. With respect, Supreme Huntmaster, I believe they've been concealing their true capabilities. They want to be underestimated." The Supreme Huntmaster turned to his council. Analysis. First strategist Kylar spoke carefully. "If Hunt Leader Ravex's account is accurate, we must consider three possibilities. First, that humans have reverse-engineered technology from previous alien contacts. Second, that they've been systematically preparing defenses against potential threats. Or third," she hesitated. "Speak," Vorex commanded. "Third, that humans are not what they appear to be at all. Perhaps their prey species evolution is a deliberate misdirection, a planetary-scale camouflage." Silence fell over the council chamber. The implications were staggering. If humans could defeat a Marath hunting party, the elite of the elite, what else might they be capable of? "The cosmic directive is clear," Vorex finally declared. "Species capable of defeating Marath hunters qualify for non-interference status. Earth will be classified as a restricted zone, effective immediately." As the council dispersed, Vorex remained alone with his thoughts. In 8,000 cycles of Marath history, they had never retreated from a potential conquest, until now. Meanwhile, on Earth, in a secure facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Chen briefed a room of military and scientific leaders. "The Marath are exactly as the Arcturian refugees described," he explained, displaying the analyzed technology recovered from the destroyed alien vessel. "Apex predators, evolutionarily specialized for hunting. Their psychology is their weakness. They cannot conceive of prey becoming predators." General Yamamoto nodded. "How many species have sought sanctuary with us now?" 17, replied Dr. Chen. "All fleeing conquest by various predator civilizations who assumed technological advancement was their exclusive domain. And our defense grid, expanding on schedule. The Marath survivor was allowed to escape as planned. Their civilization will now avoid Earth and inadvertently help protect our alien refugees." The general smiled. "Humanity, galactic sanctuary to the hunted. Who would have thought? It's what we do best," Dr. Chen said, thinking of humanity's long history. "We protect our own. And now, our own includes anyone who comes in peace." In the vast darkness of space, Earth continued its orbit, appearing to casual observation as just another life-bearing world of little consequence. But among those who knew better, whispers spread of the deceptively primitive planet where the hunted found refuge and predators learned fear. They thought they were the hunters. Earth reminded them they were prey. The end.